The story of whale evolution is one of the most extraordinary and well-documented transformations in Earth's history. Today's whales, massive, intelligent, and fully aquatic, are the descendants of land-dwelling mammals that once roamed ancient forests and shorelines about 50 million years ago. This incredible journey from land to sea stands as one of evolution's greatest success stories, proving how life can adapt and thrive in entirely new environments over millions of years. The earliest known ancestor of modern whales was Pakicetus, which lived around 50 million years ago during the Eocene epoch in what is now Pakistan. At first glance, Pakicetus looked nothing like a whale. It was about the size of a large dog, with 4 sturdy legs, sharp teeth, and hooves on its toes, traits typical of land mammals. Yet, deep within its skull lay a clue to its future in the water. The structure of its ear bones, especially a thickened area called the auditory bulla, was uniquely adapted for detecting underwater sound vibrations. This adaptation marked Pakicetus as the earliest member of the whale family, scientifically known as Cetacea. Over time, descendants of Pakicetus began spending more time in the water, hunting fish and other aquatic animals. Ancient river systems and coastal areas offered abundant food and fewer predators. Natural selection gradually favored individuals that could swim efficiently and stay underwater longer. One of the most fascinating transitional species was Ambulocetus natans, meaning, the walking whale that swims. This animal, which lived around 48 million years ago, looked like a cross between a crocodile and an otter. It had powerful hind legs and a long, flexible spine that allowed it to swim gracefully. Ambulocetus could still walk on land but was much more comfortable in the water. Its nostrils were located near the tip of its snout, but over generations, they began to shift upward, a key step in the evolution of the modern whale's blowhole. As millions of years passed, other transitional species like Rhodocetus and Protocetus appeared. These creatures were even more adapted to aquatic life. Their limbs became shorter and more paddle-like, their bodies streamlined for swimming, and their tails grew stronger to aid propulsion. Fossil evidence shows that Rhodocetus's pelvis was no longer attached firmly to the spine, meaning it could no longer support its weight on land. This marked one of the final stages of the shift from amphibious to fully aquatic living. By about 40 million years ago, the ancestors of modern whales had become entirely oceanic. One of the most remarkable examples from this period is Basilosaurus, a massive predator that could grow up to 60 feet long. Despite being a powerful swimmer with a long, snake-like body, Basilosaurus still had tiny hind limbs, vestiges of its terrestrial ancestry. These limbs no longer played any role in movement but remained as silent evidence of its evolutionary history. Another ancient whale, Dorodon, was smaller but had a body structure similar to modern whales. It used its tail flukes to swim and its front limbs, now transformed into flippers, to steer through the water. Its nostrils had fully migrated to the top of its head, and it had developed specialized hearing adapted for underwater communication, key traits of today's whales. The entire transformation from land to ocean took about 10 to 15 million years, a relatively short span in geological terms, but long enough to completely redefine the whale lineage. These evolutionary changes were driven by survival pressures and environmental shifts. As food sources became more plentiful in the oceans and competition on land increased, whale ancestors that were better adapted to aquatic life had a greater chance of survival. Over countless generations, their anatomy, senses, and behavior evolved to meet the challenges of life in the sea. Modern whales, including toothed whales like dolphins and sperm whales, and baleen whales like blue and humpback whales, still carry traces of this incredible past. Deep inside their bodies are small pelvic bones, the remnants of the legs they once had. Even whale embryos briefly develop tiny leg buds before they disappear as development continues, a fascinating reminder of their land-dwelling ancestors. The story of ancient whales is more than just an evolutionary record, it's a symbol of nature's resilience and adaptability. From small, hoofed land mammals to the largest creatures ever to exist, whales' transformation reveals life's endless ability to evolve and survive. Each fossil discovery, from Pakicetus to Basilosaurus, adds another chapter to this remarkable saga, showing how nature continuously reshapes life to meet new challenges. Today's whales, gliding gracefully through the world's oceans, are living monuments to that transformation, a story that began not in the depths of the sea, but on solid ground.